Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to call the meeting of this board together. And at the outset, we have to deal with an administrative matter. Unfortunately, Steve Diamond could not be present today, and he's asked that I stand in as chair of the meeting. And I'm told that to make that proper, I need a motion, and I need the board's. I need to confirm the pleasure of the board in that respect. So if I could have a motion from someone, please.
Joe Mihevc, I'm happy to move that as a motion.
Thank you, Joe. And Leslie, I think, or Wendy, thank you. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed?
Aye. Aye.
Thank you. I appreciate the vote of confidence. So I will proceed with the agenda. And if we could start, unfortunately, I'm also just at sea in terms of my paperwork. So Christina is going to do the land acknowledgement for us, please.
Waterfront Toronto acknowledges that the land upon which we are undertaking our revitalization efforts is part of the traditional territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation, and that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13 with the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. In addition, Waterfront Toronto acknowledges that Toronto has historically been a gathering place for many Indigenous people, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, and the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and is home to many First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples today.
Thank you, Christina. And then as well, members of the board and the public and the government people, I think that it's also appropriate to acknowledge today's news out of London that the Queen Elizabeth II has passed away. And I think that we just might take a moment to pay our respects in regard to the longest reigning monarch in British history. So if we could take a moment. Thank you all. Okay. I think there's only one item on the agenda today, and I would like to turn it over to, sorry, is there any declarations of conflict? Thank you for putting up the agenda. Any declarations of conflict? I note that Alicia's not here, and if she, just for the record, so that she's not declaring her conflict, but we know that she had one or has one. Thank you. I don't know whether Steve had any opening remarks today. He didn't share any with me, so there's really only the one item on the agenda. And I think that we want to consider that in closed session. So if I may have a motion, please, to go into closed session, I would be obliged. Wendy put up her hand, as did Leslie. Oh, and Paul. Thank you very much. All those in favor, say aye. That's carried. Okay, we're back in the public session. Ladies and gentlemen, we've just had a fulsome discussion regarding the leased premises and a recommendation from management. The motion that we are considering is up on the board. I believe that Joe Mihevc was going to move it, and Leslie was going to second it, please. She's nodding her head yes.
Yes.
So on motion duly made by Joe Mihevc and seconded by Leslie Wu and carried, be it resolved that the Board of Directors approve the preferred office lease proposal presented to the meeting by management of the corporation, and that the rolling 5-year strategic plan of the corporation be amended accordingly. If I could put the question, I don't know why the motion already says it was carried, but I think that we do a show of hands, please. Everyone, all in favor? All right, any of those opposed? Do we need a recorded vote? Are you comfortable to leave it anonymous? I'm going to declare the motion passed and thank staff and George and his team for obviously coming to a very difficult decision, but one that we can hopefully look forward to a satisfactory result from. I'm not going to say much more given the work that now has to be done, but I want to thank everyone. Is there anything else for this meeting, George? Or
no, I think that's it. So I just want to thank everybody as well. And as I said, we reflected on the same issues that were discussed. So thank you.
Thanks so much, everyone.